Good morning to all. Welcome our social science class. We discuss about our last class national income, GDP, GNP, NNP. Why do we calculate the national income, per capita income, etc. Okay. Today now we discuss about the next chapter, by the hands of the nature. By the hands of the nature. By the hands of the nature. Okay. Observe or analyze the picture 4.1, figures 4.1. Which are these pictures? Okay, mountain picture, then plains picture, waterfalls picture, desert picture, plateaus pictures, etc. Okay. Then next, what is geomorphic agent? What is geomorphic process? Okay, the process that help in the formation of landforms. Formation of landforms are called geomorphic process. Page number 47. So many landforms pictures. Plateaus, mountains, plains, waterfalls, etc. and etc. The process that help in the formation of landforms, different types of landforms are called geomorphic process. Then another is geomorphic agent. Varied landforms are created by the continuous process carried out by external agencies like running water, wind, glaciers, sea waves, etc. are the external agencies. Hence, these agencies are often called geomorphic agent. Listen, geomorphic agent and geomorphic process. Geomorphic process means the process that help in the formation of landforms. So many types of landforms. Okay. Then next, geomorphic agent. Varied landforms are created by the continuous process carried out by the external agencies like running water, wind, glaciers, sea waves, etc. Hence, these agencies are often called geomorphic agent. Okay. Then, look at the textbook, page number 48, figures number 4.2. Haven't you seen how rainwater carries? Look at the picture. Haven't you seen how rainwater carries away the loose rocks particles from elevated regions and deposit elsewhere? Okay. Listen. Observe the diagram. This the carries loose materials away, deposited in low-lying regions. Okay. Haven't you seen how rainwater carries away the loose rocks particles from elsewhere regions and deposit elsewhere? What changes take place the surface of the earth as result both the process of mentioned above this picture? Haven't you learned about the weathering process causing the weakened surface rocks on earth? Okay. What are the different types of process in weathering? Previous class we learned about the previous class 3 types of weathering: physical weathering, chemical weathering and biological weathering. Okay, 3 types of weathering: chemical weathering, physical weathering and biological weathering process from the place of to another one place to another place, from one place to another place by the external agencies such as running water, wind, glaciers, sea waves, etc. are called erosion. Okay, what means erosion? The transfer of rocks particles from one place to another place. One place to another place by external agencies. Which are the external agencies? Running water, wind, glaciers, sea waves, etc. Such as running water, glaciers, sea waves, etc. is called erosion. Listen, erosion. Erosion. Another means deposition. The materials will be deposited in low lying place. Listen. The materials will be deposited in low lying place or regions, and this process is called deposition. Process is called deposition. Erosion and deposition. 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 Very important area, erosion and deposition, this chapter. But deposition, these materials, rock particles carrying the materials will be deposited in low lying place, low lying region or low lying place, and this process is called deposition. Okay. Then along the river banks, rivers originate, you hear, rivers originated from the spring at a high altitude. Okay, high altitude. Then rills formed by the rainwater may join together to form streams. Rainwater join together to form streams. A river developed through the numerous such streams. A river developed through the numerous such streams. The place of origin of the river is called a source, and the place at which the discharge in the sea or water bodies is called river mouth. What is river? What is course of river? What is river mouth? Rivers originated from the hilltops or high altitudes altitude. So many rills formed by the rainwater. Many join together, rills are formed to streams. Then a river developed through the numerous such streams. Okay. The place of origin of river is called dash, source. The place of origin of river is called source. Then next, river mouth. What means river mouth? What is river mouth? The place of origin of the river is called source, and the place of which is discharge into the sea. Discharge into the sea is called river mouth. The next, some factors of determining the flow of a river. Some factors. First one, volume of water. Volume of water. Second one, rocks structure. Rocks structure. Third one, slope of the terrains. Slope of the terrains. Then fourth point, amount of sediments. These are the river flow factors determining the flow of river. Determining the flow of river. Volume of water. Volume of water, rock structure, slope of terrains, and slope of terrains and the amount of sediments. Okay. The course of river can generally be divided into three stages based on the difference in slope from in source to mouth. Source to mouth. First one, upper course. Second one, middle course. Third one, lower course. Three course. Then the course of river can generally divided into three stages based on the difference in slope. Difference in slope from it source to mouth. Okay. Upper course, middle course, and lower course. That means upper course, place of origin of the river. Upper course is that part of the river where it rapidly by flow down along steep slopes from the place of origin. This is the upper course. Upper course, place of origin of the river. River flow through the steep slopes, then intense rate of erosion, then no deposition, landforms such as valleys, waterfalls, etc. are seen. This is the upper course. Then second one, middle course. Middle course is that the stage of the river when it flow through the gently sloping foothills. Then third, lower course. Lower course is the stage where the river flows through the plains. Okay. Listen. All of you listen. Upper course, middle course, and lower course. Three courses. Upper course, middle course, and lower course. Upper course place origin of the river. Origin of the river, see the upper course. Then river flow through steep slopes. Steep slopes. Intense rate of erosion. Intense rate of erosion. Not deposition. And landforms such as valley, waterfalls are seen in this area or upper course area. The next, middle course. Middle course flow through the foothills. Through the foothills, both the erosional and depositional process are active. Erosional process and deposition process are active. What is erosion? It is erosion, the transfer of rocks particles from one place to another place. One place to another place. Which is such external agencies: running water, wind, glaciers, sea waves, etc. Okay, what is deposition? These materials, loose part materials, will be deposited in low-lying region, in low-lying regions. This process is called deposition. Middle course, erosion and deposition process are very active. No deposition process in upper course, then middle course, erosion and depositional process are very active. Then features such as meanders and oxbow lakes are seen in this area. Meanders and oxbow lake. Then last, lower course. Lower course means flows through the plains. Flows through the plains. Active depositional process is very active. Depositional process is very active. Depositional landforms such as floodplain and delta are seen. Delta are seen. Delta seen the lower course. Then meanders and oxbow lakes seen the middle course. Okay. Then the next part, river erosion. Very important area, upper course, middle course and lower course. Draw a picture and explain these areas. What is upper course, what is middle course, what is lower course. Okay. Very important area this chapter. The next part, river erosion. Next part, river erosion. Velocity of water flows, slope of the terrain and rock structure are the factors affecting the intensity of river erosion. Listen, river erosion, velocity of water flow. Velocity of water flow, slope of the terrain and rock structures are the factors affecting the intensity of river erosion. The rock particles like gravel, sand, etc. carried by the river rub against the rocks along the bed and both sides of the river. This result in the wearing down of rocks. Such erosion is known as abrasion. 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 Through their process, the river can be polished even the hard rocks along this course. Look at the textbook picture 4.4. This is the picture. Okay. Riverbed erosion is more prevalent in the upper course of the river. River erosion, velocity of water flow, slope of the terrains and rock structures are the factors affecting the intensity of river erosion. Intensity of river erosion, the rock particles like gravel, sand, etc. carried by the river rub against the rocks along the bed and both sides of the rivers. This result is the wearing down of rocks. Such erosion is known as abrasion. Through these processes, river can be polished even the hard rocks along its course. Okay. The next, to the landforms created by the river. Deepening of river occurs through intense erosion, result from an increase in the velocity of water flow. The valley take distinct shape of a result of the intensity of erosion along the river bank. Such as valleys are called V-shaped valley. Look at the textbook. is the V-shape erosion along the bed, erosion along the valleys, V-shaped valleys. Indicate how to the erosion alters the bed along the valley of the river, erosion along the bed, V-shaped valley. V-shaped valley. Okay. V-shaped valleys. Deepening of rivers occurs through the intense erosion resulting from the increase in the velocity of water. The valleys like a distinct shape result in intensity of erosion. Intensity of erosion along the bed. This is the shape of V-shaped valley. Okay. Then next, waterfalls. You heard the word waterfalls? You heard waterfalls. Do you see the waterfalls? Okay. Waterfalls are generally formed at the upper course of the river as the result of erosion. Upper course of the river, the result of erosion. Waterfalls. Upper course of the river, result of erosion. Okay. The rate of erosion along the riverbed decrease as the river leaves of upper course. However, later erosions dominates the river flowing through comparatively gentle slopes take a deviation from the sediments or rocks form create a obstruction of the flow. Such bending course of river, the curved formed along the river course are called meanders. Then meanders are usually formed at the middle and lower course. Meander created the middle course and lower course. Okay. We discuss the next part, the landform created of river. Deepening of rivers occurred through the intense erosion velocity from increase in the velocity of water flow. The valleys take a distinct shape as result of the intensity of erosion along the river bed. Such valleys are called V-shaped valley. V-shaped valley. The V-shaped valleys. Then next picture, 4.7, landforms created by the erosion and deposition activities of rivers are called fural landforms or V-shaped valleys. Okay. Then waterfalls are generally formed at the upper course of the river. Waterfalls created the upper course of the river. What is the result of the waterfalls? Waterfalls result of the erosion. Erosion resulted waterfalls. Okay. The rate of erosion along the river bed decreases the river leaves of the upper course. However, lateral erosion dominates the river flowing through the comparatively gentle slopes take deviation when the sediments such bending course of river flow is such bending course of the river. The curves formed are usually formed in the middle river of the course are the curved formed in the along the river course are called meanders. Curved shape is the meanders. Meanders are usually formed into middle and lower course of wide rivers. Then next, meanders. Meanders. Meanders, the shape of meanders shape. Look at the textbook, the shape of meanders shape. The curved shape. Listen, curved shape. The rate of erosion along the river bed decrease as the dominates the river flowing through the comparatively gentle slopes. Take a deviation when the sediments or rocks form, create an abstraction to the flow. Okay. Such bending course of river, the course formed are usually formed in the middle course and lower course. What means meanders? Look at the textbook, page number 4.9, figures number 4.9. The rate of erosion along the river bed decrease the river leaves upper course. The upper course means the upper course, form of upper course, middle course and lower course. Middle course, oxbow like and meanders seen in the middle course. Waterfalls seen in the upper course. Then middle course seen meanders and oxbow lakes. Okay. Then such bending course of river is the shown in the picture, figures 4.9. The curves formed along the river course are called meanders. Meanders are usually formed in the middle course and lower course of wide rivers. Okay, clear? Then meanders may further curve through the continuous erosion and deposition. Finally, the river take a straight course. One of the deposition of curve may get detached from the main river from isolated water bodies. Such water bodies are called oxbow lakes. Okay. Observe the figure 4.10. Figure 4.10. Observe the transformation happening in the meanders through the features erosion and deposition. The meanders and oxbow lakes seen in the middle course of the river. Okay. Meanders may be further curve through the continuous erosion and deposition. Finally, the river takes a straight course due to the deposition of curve may get detached from the main river. Okay, detached from the main river from isolated water bodies. Listen, isolated water bodies. Such water bodies are called oxbow lakes. Okay. Oxbow lakes and meanders seen in the middle part of the river course. Okay. Then the next picture figures number 4.11. This meanders picture. Oxbow lake picture. Okay. Listen once more again. Now we discuss the fourth chapter, by the hands of the nature. So many types of landforms, plateaus, mountains, waterfalls, desert, etc. and etc. Okay. River. Landforms too might remember the mention in the previous chapter or previous class that the internal force and external force can change to the earth in the surface. The process that help in the formation of landforms are called geomorphic process and geomorphic agent. Which are the geomorphic agents? Running water, wind, glaciers, sea waves. Okay. What means glacier? Glacier means thick masses of ice slowly move downhills in the snow-clad region. Such slow move masses of ice are called glaciers. Okay. Look at the pictures. River pictures, glaciers pictures and sea wave pictures and wind pictures. Then observe the diagram 4.2. 4.2 carries loose materials away, then deposition areas. This is the observe the diagram. And then next river flow. Factors of river flow: volume of water, rock structure, slope of terrain and amount of sediments. These are the river flows. Then the course of river can generally divide into 3 stages: upper stage, middle stage and lower stage. Upper stage or place of origin of the river. River flow through the steep slopes. Then no deposition areas of the upper stage. Then next middle course. Middle course flow through the foothills and both the erosion and depositional process are active middle course stage. Then features of middle course, you see the meanders and oxbow lakes. Then last lower course. Lower course means the plains. Flow through the plains. Active depositional process. Depositional landforms such as flood plains. Flood plains formed the lower course. Okay. Then river erosion, V-shaped valleys. Then meanders and oxbow lake. Okay. What means V-shaped valleys? What means meanders and oxbow lake? Okay, take your text notebook. Write down some important questions. Question number 1. First write down the chapter name, By the Hands of the Nature. Question number 1. What is geomorphic process? First question, what is geomorphic process? Then another question or second question, what is geomorphic agent? What is geomorphic agent? Then next question, main factors. Third question, main factors determining the flow of river. Then fourth question, explain upper course, middle course and lower course. Draw a picture. Explain upper course, middle course and lower course. Then next question, write down what is V-shaped valleys. What is V-shaped valleys? The last question. What is meanders and oxbow lakes? What is meanders and oxbow lakes? Okay. Then we discuss the next part, floodplains. Floodplains. Floodplains formed in the lower coast stage. Okay. Floodplains formed in the lower coast stage. Okay. Are floodplains a boon? You might have seen the rivers overflowing their banks during the rainy season. Okay. You know. Then flood water may cover extensive areas on both sides of the river. Extensive areas on the both sides of the river. The deposition of alluvium along both the flooded banks may cause the formation of plain. Such plains are called floodplain. Look at the textbook figures number 4.12. Floodplains formed. Floodplains formed the last stage of the course. The lower stage of the course. We see the lower stage of course, the floodplains. Okay. Then today now we discuss today now wind up the class. We see the next class. Okay. Thank you.